Hey, welcome in to Hold My Banner. If you love this show, first of all, thank you. Secondly, check out 310 to Left on Nesson as well. TC and Lou break down all the spring training news and notes with the Sox. 310 to Left can be found on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcasts. All right, you know what time it is. Hold my banner. And you know who's in here, don't you? Travis Thomas with you, of course. And we never roll alone. We have our esteemed producer, the walking, talking, triple-double, Ante Campbell in the house. Will you say, Tay?
What's up, TTs? How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, although we only had one offering in the NBA last night. So at the time of this recording, we got to talk about LeBron James missing not one, but two potential game-tying shots, Tay, that could have changed the game for the Lakers. He missed them both.
He missed them both, and we'll get more into some Lakers talk because, I'm feeling very spicy mouth today, Travis, so I can't wait headed into the weekend, dog.
Yeah, you spicy? You like some hot sauce?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep. You already know.
Well, listen, on a more devastating news day, Victor Wembanyama shut down for the season with a deep vein, basically a blood clot in his right shoulder. This is devastating news that Shams dropped here. Here's a tweet. A form of a blood clot in his right shoulder. He's out for the season. The Spurs believe this is an isolated condition. And everything I've been reading on this, Ante, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on Hold My Banner. But everything I've been reading on this says, he should, knock on wood, be okay moving forward. But this is a precautionary, let's shut him down. They tried to work through this right before the All-Star break, through the All-Star break. But I guess it's just too risky to keep playing this game, pun intended, with Wembanyama. So they shut him down. Wemby shut down for the year. This is devastating news, Ante, not just to the young man who we, of course, hope is okay. That's the main thing here with Wemby. We want him to get his health right. We know about this right here in town with Christian Barmore and the Patriots. We've seen this with Chris Bosh, who by the way, blood clots shut his career down forever. Yeah. So, to me, the first thing is with Wemby. Let's get him healthy. Let's send prayers up and well wishes to Wemby to get well soon. But then I look at this, even bigger than the Spurs, Ante, I look at this from an NBA standpoint, a global basketball standpoint. This is a guy, you know how high I am on Wemby, bro. This is a dude that the league, international basketball, a lot of people are betting on for not just the future, but for the present as well. So having him out is just bad for basketball, no matter how you slice it. And then obviously from the Spurs standpoint, the Spurs having to work through this, the Spurs now having their best player out of that lineup for the remainder of the season. It's just devastating news across the board, Ante, no matter what angle you sort of look at this from.
Yeah, it definitely is. My first thought comes to all the guys that you listed before, Barmore, Bosh, but I think back even to Brandon Ingram. I think it's a kind of a foregone conclusion that he also dealt with blood clots at some point in his NBA career. And, while he's still out missing some time from other health issues right now with the Raptors, he came back from blood clots and got an opportunity to play NBA basketball again and has been playing at a high level, So I think that hopefully Victor can have the same kind of fortitude where he can have an opportunity to play more NBA basketball after this. And like you saw with Shams, the Spurs believe that it's something that's just an isolated incident, not going to be able to spread down, because that's really where it gets scary, is if it can spread down towards his heart, especially being up there in the shoulder right there next to it. It's a scary sight and could shut down Victor Wembanyama for forever. And that brings me back to the second point that I wanted to make, is what you said about him as a global basketball player, as an ambassador for basketball across the world, is that Wemby has a chance to be the future face of the league. I don't care what Stephen A said. What Stephen A said about Wemby was malarkey. That, very simple and plain as that.
What did he
That
say?
he said that he doesn't believe that foreign-born player
Oh,
can be the face of the NBA
right.
because the NBA and basketball is an American sport and originally created by Americans. I think that's a bunch of malarkey. Wemby has an opportunity. We know Anthony Edwards has an opportunity to be face of the league. We know there's other guys who are out there who have opportunities to be face of the league as LeBron and Steph find their way out. But Wemby has the opportunity to be the greatest basketball player of all time. If you ask Travis Thomas, you know what I'm saying?
I
So
think so.
so if he could be the face of the league, and that's why this is so important, because we might have a situation here where we get to miss out on. It's a what if question now. We always talk about Wemby and what's going to happen, how we think he's going to win multiple championships, how we think he's going to be this great player. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about Wemby and what ifs, like how we talked about Grant Hill or Derrick Rose or
Right.
Brandon Roy. You know what I
Right.
mean? I want to talk
Yeah.
about what Wemby does and what he did. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done. So this is a big moment in that sense.
Well, I think you make a great point, but Ante, we have a larger, I should say, sample size of all those other names you said. I mean,
Yeah.
Derrick Rose gave us some years. Grant Hill gave us some years. Brandon Roy gave us some years. So Wemby, at this stage, it almost feels like an embryonic stage of his career. Like he's still a baby. And so, like, this is just so devastating. Okay, let's do this because we've wished him good health. We've talked about the impact globally on the game of basketball. Let's look at this from a Spurs perspective for a second.
Yeah.
It's not quite as devastating short term. The reason I say that is because they already were fighting tooth and nail just to try to get in striking distance of a play-in, okay?
Yes.
So this happens, you shut him down. I get sick of how people are sensitive around the word tank. so what I want to do here is, I don't want to make light of a heavy situation with Wemby, but I do want to fully embrace the word tank. If I'm the Spurs, just to be clear, I am playing all my young talent like Castle and all the rest of it. I'm playing those guys.
Yes.
But I am probably shutting down or certainly minutes restricting Chris Paul to the 10th degree because you're already old. You're playing great this year. So I want you to keep playing, but I'm going to put you on old man minutes. You're not going to play a ton of minutes because I need you next season as well. And I don't want to burn too much tread on those tires.
If they bring him back, they'll bring him back.
I'm confident they'll bring him back.
Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal. So
but here's why I'm confident he's coming back, because he's going to want to continue to play with this monster in Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, and I'm getting to an offseason here, so stay with me, Tay. So I got Chris Paul on old man minutes.
Yes.
I'm embracing tanking.
Okay.
I'm actively trying to lose games. Like let's define this. Hey, lose on 3, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3, lose.
Right.
And I am trying to have history repeat itself. The Spurs, when they got Tim Duncan, were not bad. It was a decent team whose best player named David Robinson got hurt. Great. They had a ton of injuries that year, but David Robinson was a big one. Great. They stunk up the joint. Everyone around these parts in this neck of the woods thought the Celtics were going to get Tim Duncan. Wrong. The Spurs inexplicably end up with the number 1 pick. You're welcome. game changer. Tim Duncan goes to the Spurs. We know the rest of the story.
Yes.
I am trying to get history to repeat itself again. If I'm San Antonio, I want Cooper Flagg. And
Oh
if
my
I don't,
God.
wait a minute. If I don't get him, I need to be in
Yeah.
striking distance to go get him because they get the Hawks first round pick. So now I have my pick, which should be trash. If you listen to me and you tank, you'll have the Hawks pick, which won't be trash, but it's not going to be great because they stink. And you can package that and go get Cooper Flagg. That is the plan for the offseason if I'm the Spurs. That's just me, Tay. I see you shaking your head, but that's what I would do.
So as we're recording this, the San Antonio Spurs sit in the 10th spot for the 2025 NBA draft. This is not, 10th best odds for the first pick since we're talking lottery, right?
Right.
And the Atlanta Hawks sit at the 12th spot, 12th best odds for the first pick or whatever, right? And one or two of those picks will move up because that is the nature of the lottery. The Hawks had a miraculous, I think they moved up from 10-1 or whatever, or 8-1, to go get Zachary Reese. And so it is in the realm of possibility that the Spurs do get the first pick. Obviously, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. People have had their conspiracy theory brains on about Tim Duncan going to the Spurs, about Patrick Ewing going to the Knicks. We've heard all of that before. But I sit here and if the way I'm going to take people behind the curtain for a little bit, as you typically do. We were in the content center earlier, and everyone's telling me that, if I was a team, I wouldn't trade the 4th and 8th pick for for Cooper Flagg.
For Cooper. Yeah, I would.
Right. And, I'm under the assumption that I would say if I was a team, I have the first pick and the Spurs have the 4th and 8th pick in this draft. I say, sure, you could have the 4th and I will take the 4th and 8th pick off of your hands. Go ahead and take Cooper Flagg. Good luck. But that's not what y'all have been telling me. So, I don't personally see Cooper Flagg in a Spurs jersey unless they get lucky like the Hawks did last year in the draft and luck into the first pick because
which is possible.
It is possible. They could slide a little more. There are some teams below them that seem like they're still trying to win. The 76ers are one of them who will eventually probably end up passing them if the Spurs do embrace the tank. You know what I mean? So that's just one team, but I'm not sure if I see Cooper Flagg with Wemby just yet.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I will tell you what, let's take him out of the equation. Yes. It's still such a monster offseason for the Spurs, and it already was before this news because you're building around this kid. So now there's more pressure. Think about this, too. You made this investment now in De'Aaron Fox. You gave up draft capital and, let's face it, you've already financially gave him what he wants. So if you're the Spurs, even though I'm tanking, you're playing. Yo, De'Aaron, you're playing. Go get your – we already see he can get numbers and lose games. We've seen him do that, okay? Shots fired. So De'Aaron Fox is playing, but now this offseason, I'm bringing back Chris Paul. Let's take Cooper Flagg out. You're going to have great draft positioning here.
Great, yeah.
So you're going to – and this is a really good draft. You've been telling me all the attention's on Flagg, but there's other guys. It's top-heavy. But there's other guys in the lottery that can hoop. I'm going to get one or two of them. And then let's see what more money I can spend and try to get another. You're not going to get a superstar. I get that. But maybe you can get sort of that second tier type star to come in and play there. It has to be a huge offseason for the Spurs because while you are confident, if you're that organization, that Wemby's coming back, what you don't know is what that will look like because a lot of these dudes with this, they do come back. They do play well, but they're on minutes restrictions. They can't give you what they used to give you. They're on medication. You have to be very careful. So, if you're the Spurs, I would still feel confident about the future, Ante, but this is now an even bigger offseason than it already was. There's even more pressure on them to get it right this offseason. You agree with that?
Yes, it is a lot of pressure for them to get right this offseason. What I do have to say is you can't forget that this Spurs team is missing their head coach right now as he battles
Yeah,
back from a stroke that he had earlier this year, Greg
right.
Popovich. So this is one of those situations where they're actually going to have two people who are going through similar things and
Yes.
working their way back to health, and we'll be able to bounce ideas off of each other and hopefully come together and build this team back up
Yeah.
and have somebody to talk to that's going through similar things, right? Popovich could be that for Wemby, and that's why I wouldn't be too worried for Spurs fans going forward.
No doubt about it. Okay, so while the Spurs try to deal with health situations with their big superstar, in 30 seconds, we'll tell you another superstar who may be sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's in 30 seconds. But first, do you want to hear all about Boston sports? Check out Nesson's daily sports podcast, Boston Has Entered the Chat. You too can enter the conversation by tweeting at us using the hashtag NessonChat, or you can always email the gang, thechat@nesson.com. Boston Has Entered the Chat is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. Okay, Ante, I love this segment because, as you know, coming into this season, I was wrong, but I told you that I thought at the trade deadline this season, Giannis Antetokounmpo would force a trade out of Milwaukee because he's sick and tired of losing, and it's just him and Dame, and they have no help. But you look up, they added Kyle Kuzma at the deadline, a move that I love, that you scoffed at, but it's a move that I love because that's exactly what they needed, another scorer there. Now, we'll get to Giannis in a second because Shams dropped a hammer on that. But first, I want to start here. This has to tick Giannis off. So Bobby Portis suspended without pay. You don't even get a check. You know how expensive eggs are out here, bro? He's suspended without pay for 25 games for testing positive for basically performance-enhancing drugs, okay? Violating the league's anti-drug policy. So you got that happening. And then Shams drops a hammer that Giannis is very much like, hey, I need to see a long-term vision here. Me and Dame are cooking. I like Kyle Kuzma, but I need to see long-term investments, long-term vision. You have to continue to keep me happy. It's not just about what you did for me yesterday. What are you doing for me today and the next day and the day after and the years to come? So a lot of things bubbling here in Milwaukee, Tay. Let's start with old crazy eyes, Bobby Portis. I don't even want to ask you, were you shocked by this news? Because it's almost like, who cares? But this guy's such a veteran in this league. He is valuable to the Bucks. It's just like disappointing, Ante, I think. I mean, that's what when I saw this, it was just like, man, come on, bro. This is the last thing this team needs, the last thing Giannis needs. It's not devastating on the floor, but it's just disappointing, and it certainly doesn't help the Bucks, Tay.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help the Bucks at all in their situation. They were a team that started off slow, started picking it up, and now they've kind of found where we think they're going to be in the East. You know what I mean? They're in that middle of that pack of the top teams in the East, and that's where we always kind of thought they were going to be. Like you said, obviously adding Kyle Kuzma was a big addition for their team this year because Chris Middleton wasn't doing much for them. They shipped him off to Washington. Kyle Kuzma is now in Milwaukee. What I'm most confused about in this entire situation is Bobby Portis' assistant mixed up the names of two pain medications. He thought that he was giving him Toradol, but he gave him Tramadol. Like, how, as an NBA assistant to a player that's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, do you get stuff like that mixed up? It seems a little fishy, But at the same time, I'm not blaming Bobby Portis. I'm just more upset that he was even in this situation as a whole.
That's
Now,
right.
going into the Giannis situation, I think at this point, Giannis just has to wait and see. You know, it's just a wait and see type of situation. Is Bobby Portis a big part of what they do? Yeah, he finished third in Sixth Man of the Year the last 2 seasons for the Bucks. He's
Yeah.
a huge part of their operation. But at the same time, I think that other teams have to deal with injuries and all this other stuff, and they have to combat. The Lakers
Yep.
have to try to combat not having a center, and we'll talk more about them later. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Other teams, KP was out for an extended period of time, and the Celtics had to figure out how to play without him for the first 25 games of the season,
Yep.
and they
Yep.
fared fine. You know, the Knicks are just now getting OG and Anunoby back after he's missed some extended time, and they've been
Yep.
fine. I think this is one
Yep.
of those situations where good teams find a way. That's a
Yep.
simple answer. Good teams find a way, and the Bucks might not be the deepest team in the NBA, and we've come on here and we've talked about it over and over again how bad of a situation they have managed putting talent around Giannis and Dame, and
Yeah.
that's the same case. But you know what? You were so high on Kyle Kuzma, he's got to show up.
That's
He's got to
it.
show up,
Yeah.
and that's what it comes down to.
That's where I'm at too, Tay. I like it almost now. You needed a Kyle Kuzma for everything that we always talk about. You need that third option. But now with the Portis news, it adds even more value to the move they made to bring in Kuzma. In fact, as you know me very well. Everything comes back to gambling for me. I'm going to be honest with you. Kuzma's playing well. He's averaging about 16 points per game. He's fitting in nicely. Now with Portis out, and guess who the Bucks play tonight? They
Who?
play the Wizards.
Okay. Here you go. Here you
Guess
go.
what's about to happen? Kyle
What?
Kuzma is going to drop 50 on the Washington Wizards. I don't know what his player prop is. And I don't
50?
give a damn. Yes, I don't give a damn.
On the
Whatever
second night of a back-to-back?
Yes. Whatever his player prop is, bet the over. You're welcome. Because the Wizards can't stop anybody. They can't. I mean, they can't stop their sink from running. Okay.
Yeah,
So guess what? Kuzma feels a type of way anyway about them. So guess what? I'm about to light y'all up. I'm gonna have more minutes tonight with Portis out. Watch this. Kuzma's going off tonight.
I can see that happening. Look, if Kuzma's not going off, then it's got to be Kevin Porter Jr. That's what I want to say, because they added another scorer at the deadline that people weren't really talking about. But Kevin Porter Jr. is a bucket getter, and so if he doesn't take this opportunity to step up and have this opportunity to score, because we know what Dame is going to do. We know what Giannis is going to do. And we even know what Kyle Kuzma is going to do. He's been really efficient with the Bucks, which you told me he would be. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what KPJ is going to do from a night-to-night basis. This is an opportunity for him over the next 25 games to establish himself as a main guy on this Bucks team. And I tell you what, that Bucks Milwaukee fandom, they do love guys who come in and play hard and get buckets. They love that. So if you can go do that, you'll never pay for a meal in Milwaukee in your life. All it takes is one playoff push from you, KPJ. That's it. So we'll see if he can get it done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I love Midwest food, bro. All them cities. Chicago got good food, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Milwaukee has good food, bro. Between them brats and them beers and them cheese curds they working with, man, if I didn't have to pay for a meal in Milwaukee for the rest of my life, I promise you I'd be 654 pounds. By the way.
Before you move on, Travis, you move on, I just have to ask you really quickly. Who plays worse defensively, the Wizards or the Lakers, though? Because you talk about the Wizards defense. Who's worse, the Wizards or the Lakers?
Yo, those are the worst defensive teams in the league, bro. By the way, Kyle Kuzma, I looked this up. Kuzma's career high, 2019 against the Pistons, 41 points. I'm telling you, take the over.
Okay.
Take the over. All right,
Okay.
let's talk some Celtics here. So
Yeah.
Celtics Knicks Sunday, big afternoon
Yeah.
game, ABC game. I mean, bro, I'm getting out of church. I'm checking out the Celtics. Let's preview this game, bro. What we working with? What you think?
Oh man, look, I can't look at this game and not immediately remember opening day in the NBA, opening night or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
A few weeks ago, again in the Garden with Jason
Yep.
Tatum. They're going back. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Here in Boston on Sunday, and
Right.
I have to think that the way Tatum has been rocking with JB having his time off and now coming back into the lineup, I can't sit here and say not blowout. I want to be able to say the Knicks are going to fight and they're going to climb and they're going to claw back into this situation, into this game. But in my heart, I'm hearing blowout again. OG's
I
back.
know.
He should be back. At least that's what I'm hearing, that OG Anunoby is back, and that will help them. But OG was there from night one, and that didn't mean anything. So I'm thinking blowout again, but we'll see.
I know this one's tough because if you remember, you predicted a blowout in that game, and I had a closer game. I think I had a game winner from Tatum at Madison Square or something dramatic.
Yeah.
So this time around, it's very difficult for me to disagree with you when you were right the last time. But maybe I was a game premature. Maybe I was too early. Maybe I was too ahead of my time. So I'll tell you what I'll do. It ain't Madison Square, but I love me some TD Garden. I think Tatum, walk-off game winner against the Knicks. I think this will be the close game that I predicted last time. I think, and honestly, some of it's me getting the Knicks credit for what you're saying. Like, I think they're sick and tired of getting their butts kicked against this team. And they're like, look, man, like, we're a top team in the East too. We gotta show up. Getting OG back will help, presumably. So I'm going to go Knicks in a close game here, very competitive. And then in the end, Tatum takes over because that's what he does. Game over. Celtics win. That's why I'll go here. I think this will be the close game, Tay.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right because I'm looking forward to a good game on Sunday. That's what I'm looking forward to. But I'm not sure about it just because I thought it was going to be close opening night. I thought it was going to be maybe a little bit closer when they went to Madison Square, but it wasn't. What I do want to ask you, though, is if these two teams play today in a playoff game, because this is a possible playoff matchup, how long is this series going? I know you already think the Celtics are winning. I don't have to worry about that. You think the Celtics are winning, and so do I. But how long is the series going? Sweet? Gentlemen's 6, 7. What are we talking about? 6, 7.
Okay, check this out. I need clarification because you said if this series were to happen today, do you mean that literally? Because that changes my answer. If it's a playoff series, when the playoff series are a playoff series, i.e. April, then I'll take the Celtics in 5. Because it's going to be a mash unit for the Knicks, like it always is. If it's literally starting today and I'm getting OG back, I'll go Celtics in 6. But either way, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm the LeBron meme with the cigarette in my mouth. Like, it's Celtics in 4, 5, or 6. What difference does it make? Like, it's still you catching the L, New York. So what difference does it make?
You shed it sharp. You shed it sharp.
Right. It doesn't matter.
With the Dewey and the cigar.
Yes. With Action Brunson.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, Action Brunson, Jaylen Brunson. It doesn't matter. Like it's Celtics in 5 or 6. Fine. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
No, bro. I'm with you. I think you're being a little bit disrespectful. I remember as being a player, whenever you face a team and you have their number all year in the regular season, when you have to play them in the playoffs scenario, it's always tougher to beat them. I always say that in like a college basketball sense or an NFL sense. Like, it's hard to beat a team 3 times because usually you only face a team 2 times that are in your league or in your division in the NFL or in college basketball, and then the third time is in the playoffs, right? But it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's the same thing with NBA basketball in my perspective, right? If you sweep a team in the regular season, it's going to be hard to get that sweep or gentleman sweep in the playoffs. I think that the Celtics have had the Knicks number, and I hear you. Injuries, Thibodeau, all of that, 100%. I'm with you. There will be some guys from this Knicks team who won't make it to the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Right.
They still have Mitchell Robinson's always out. He's out right now, so he'll probably be one of those guys. They never have him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm right there with you. But I think that I saw the Knicks claw and fight and play in series that they shouldn't have been in last year when they faced off against the Pacers. Should they have beat the Pacers? That's here or there. But they were fighting and clawing. I think if guys do go down, they will just play guys 46 minutes, and those guys are going to fight and claw and give you 6 no matter what. So I think that this would be a 6-game series, healthy, not healthy, or whatever, just because I know the identity of these Knicks guys. And so no disrespect to the Knicks basketball. I think it's 6, but the Celtics win no matter what.
Okay, I think that's fair. As far as this game, I'm going to go Celtics 116, Knicks 112.
116, 112. Okay. Yep. Celtics get a little time off after they played Thursday against the 76ers.
Right.
They have an opportunity to come home. You know what I mean? They've had a break.
Some home cooking. Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to go 127 Celtics, 115 Knicks, which is it's not a blowout, but it is. I think it's going to be like how the Celtics beat the Spurs before the break. You know what I mean? Where they had them down 20 at halftime, and then the Spurs made it kind of respectable in the second half, but it was still Celtics in control the whole time. I think we're getting that kind of win out of the season.
Fair enough. That's a blowout that you mentioned. And can I say this? Can I take one shot at Knicks fans on the way out of here? Every Knicks fan, I don't know how to act.
I don't want no parts. This is between you and them. This is between you and them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do. Every Knicks fans I know tells me how great Mitchell Robinson is, except that he never plays. Like, I'm so sick of, just wait when Mitchell Robinson comes back, but he never plays. Okay? That's why we call it around here in Boston, you lose. That's how that goes. Now, I may be showing off, but nothing like some of these NBA stars were showing off during the All-Star break. Let me tell you all about it in 30 seconds. But first, let me tell you about Foxborough Rush, because if you want the latest on the Patriots and the NFL, we'll tell you what Mike Vrabel and the Pats should do with the 4th pick in the NFL draft on Nesson's football podcast, Foxborough Rush. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, Tay, you heard that professional tease that I gave there, and it was all for Wicked or Kick It All-Star Game Edition. Bro, with all these All-Stars in the same place, you knew these outfits were going to be off the hook, bro, and they are.
Yeah, and they are. And we're starting off hot with our guy, Jaylen Brown. Now, shout out to League Fits for this photo. Travis Thomas, what do you think of Jaylen Brown's All-Star fit from last weekend?
I think you better hide your items, is what I think. You better hide anything of value, because my man took Cat Burglar to another level. Ryan, take this fool. What is going on here? Those are not shades. Those are infrared goggles, so he can get by your security real proper. Like, if you got lasers, it doesn't matter. He can bend and contort through all the lasers because of these infrared goggles that he has on. Keep going down, Ryan. Keep going down. Look at this coat. This is clearly part of a parachute because he is paratroopered in to steal your jewels. Okay. Do you see the keep going, Ryan? You good, Ryan? Do you see the latex gloves? Do you see the do you see the container there? The gloves are no fingerprints, dog. And then the container is your diamond because he stole it and he's out. He is out like a thief in the night. This outfit is terrible. I'm kicking it all the way back to where it belongs with the Spy Kids in them because this is ridiculous. Go ahead, Ted.
Oh, bro, I don't understand why you hate this fashion so much. All right,
What?
now look, for me, I kind of like this from Jaylen Brown. It's his style. It's his style. First of all, he's rocking all the Oakley gear. You know he's got the new brand deal with Oakley. So he's rocking all the Oakley gear. He's got the Oakley shirt that you see peeking at the bottom of the screen. He's got the Oakley sunglasses. He's got the windbreaker suit on. This is hold on. Bring me back on camera, Ryan. I need to talk to Travis real quick. Travis, this is y'all's era. This is back. We going back to the past episode with our boy Dion. You can hear this dang outfit. This is a starter jacket windbreaker era. This is I'm gonna call your mama. I'm gonna call your parents because I need a picture of you in this photo. I know you have a fit like this back in the day, Travis Thomas. So I'm not going to let you disrespect Jaylen Brown and say this is trash. This is wicked only because he's wearing it. And I'm giving it a 7.7 out of 10 for number 7, Jaylen Brown.
Hey, bro, my generation will not claim this outfit because he has special material so you can't hear him so that he can steal all the jewels. He can steal the diamonds. Okay, it doesn't make noise. Didn't you hear my whole soliloquy? He is coming in to take the diamonds, and he's out, baby.
You're wrong. You know that that's a swish, John. You know it is. All right, bro. On to the next one. We got a fit from SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he's wearing his brand new shoes from Converse. He's got his own signature shoe with Converse. Travis Thomas, thanks for League Fits and Slam for this fit. What do you think of this one?
Okay, you can take this full ride. I actually like this, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Because, bro, is all about aura. Like, this is just giving me, this is aura right here. SGA leads the league in aura. First of all, that's alpaca on him, okay? That's a chinchilla alpaca. Then he's color coordinating. Then I don't love his shoes because they kind of remind me of Yeezys, but I at least get the concept, and I respect that he's doing his own thing. He's got his own brand he's building. So I'm gonna give him that because it's his product, you know. Okay, so I actually really appreciate this outfit, bro. This dude is leading the league in aura. Plus, you see the ice right there, man. SGA. That's you know what I'm looking at? The league MVP. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, you are looking at the league MVP. It's probably a foregone conclusion that he's already ran away with this. What I like about this is, I'm always here for petty hoops. I'm always here for petty hoops. And that you said alpaca, and immediately when I saw that jacket, all I thought was Wolf. And you know who had the shoe of the year last season? Who? Anthony Edwards. He had the shoe of the year last year. And who does he play for? The Timberwolves. Yeah. So I think he's saying, I'm killing that wolf. I got the best first shoe of all time. And that's why he's wearing this wolf fur or whatever you want to call it jacket on this fit. I'm with you, Travis Thomas. This one is fire from SGA. He's what did our boy Ryan Holland say? Aura maxing. He's aura maxing on this one. This one's dope, Travis.
I'm still laughing at how you enunciated wolf. How you couldn't just say wolf. You had to say wolf. I respect that. This is aura right here. This is wicked. I'm giving my man SGA's wicked right here. Who's next?
All right, next we got Jaren Jackson Jr. with his fit during All-Star Weekend. Travis Thomas, shout out to League Fits for this photo as well. What do you think of this one, my guy?
I mean, this was just a big mistake. Like this was a mistake. Nah, Ryan, take it full, Ryan, because like I think Triple J had the idea when he walked out of Ryan, take it full, dog. I think he had the idea when he walked out of his house that this I'm saying like head to toe, right? I think he had the idea that this was fashion when he walked out of the house. But the problem is that coach is saying, hold me. How many hands do you have? Like, I know you're a great defender. I know you're a great young player, but how many hands do you have exactly? Because I see two functional hands. He got the OJ gloves. He's holding the bag, and then the other joints. I don't. Are you slow dancing with yourself? Like what? What are the other hands there for? If you notice in the back, now Ryan, if you want to get real crazy, if you notice in the back, go to the person in the back with the camera trying to figure it all out. You see that right there. Thank you, Ryan. Now hold this shot. That person right there is zooming in saying, how many hands does this brother have? Is there someone in the back of this coat holding him as we speak? They are not taking the shot for wick it or kick it. They are taking the shot trying to figure out what's going on here. That's what that is. Kick it.
Hey, oh, man. First of all, shout out to our director, Ryan, man. He's doing everything that you asked perfectly. But look, Travis, you're right. As soon as I saw this fit, for those who are listening, he's got like a black and white checkered jacket on with gloves attached to his abdomen on it.
Yep.
He's wearing he's got the Powerline shoulder pads from a Goofy movie and the Powerline goggles from a Goofy movie as well that he's wearing up top. And he's got a nice button down white shirt with a tie on under it and a nice little bag. Now, I talked to our director, Ryan. This one, you're right. This is a kick it. I can't lie about this. But he didn't stop here. We got a surprise picture for you, Travis Thomas. He actually wore something just like this on a different day. Yeah, look at this. Zoom into this one, Ryan. The glove part is functional. He's got his hands in the gloves, Travis. He was doing this all weekend. What do you feel about this?
I hate it. Like, what you mean? What do I feel about this, bro?
Look at it, bro. He's got gloves in the abdomen. He's using it like how you use a hoodie pocket, bro. He's got his hands inside the hands on his stomach, dog.
This is so weird, bro. Listen, bro. I just want the record to show that I'm not a hater. Like, I'm not a fashionable guy, so I respect fashion and all of that. But man, you got to call a spade sometimes, dog. Like we can't keep doing this. Like you can't be walking around with the kangaroo pouch that your hands can fit in and call it fashion. Like no, that's a kangaroo pouch with hands. Like I can't call that fashion, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I can't.
Hey, you're right, Ryan. One more time, if we could just see that other photo again. Look, you can see his two rookies just dying laughing at him. They low-key holding back Jalen Wells giving him that side neck look like, boy, you know you're not supposed to have that at all. He looked like he was about to get up and flame him. All right, we got an extra one because it's All-Star Weekend. We got one here from LaMelo Ball on his game before he played the Lakers. What do you think about this one? Shout out to League Fits and David Ragoso for this picture. What do you think of this one, Travis?
I'm not going to lie. It's ugly as hell. And pants are ugly. But at the same time, after what you just took me through, I'm going to give them wicked. I mean, honestly, like at this point, this is a mercy wicked because I can stomach this. Like, I don't like how they're regular jeans at the top and then No Limit Soldier at the bottom. But at the same time, if that's all you're giving me, like you got a regular shirt, you got some ice, you got a cap. That's a mean Escalade in the background. I like his bag. Yeah. I'm with it. Like, you know what? Pass. Like this is what happened to my school career. Like I was just good enough. I was a C student, and I remember several teachers being like, if you apply yourself, but pass. Like that's how I feel. Like I'm gonna give you a wicked here, even though I don't really like it. But compared to how some of these other brothers look on All-Star Weekend, including Jaylen Brown, bro, like, fine, I'll take it. Like, this is wicked, Tay. What do you think? You're gonna say wicked, I already know.
Look, so for our listening audience, he has a LaFlame, which is his brand, trucker hat up top, black trucker hat, gray LaFlame sweatshirt. He's got the jeans that are distressed, light wash, half at the top, distressed and light wash, at the bottom, camo, brown camo cargos attached to it with black shoes. Now, once again, Travis, you know me too well. This is wicked. Of course it's wicked. And it's not wicked because I could wear it. I could never wear this. You could never wear this. If you wore this to the office, I'm letting you know right now, the way I would embarrass you would make you not want to be my friend ever again. But this is his style. It's got given trucker, rock star, skater, LaMelo style. And this is who he is, a kid from Southern California playing in Los Angeles against the Lakers, the team that drafted his brother. And he put on the show in that game against the Lakers. I think this fit is wicked, just like how he played. I'm going to give LaMelo a 7.1 because I wouldn't wear it out of 10.
Yeah, Tay, last scene for LaMelo, he was lighting up the Lakers. We'll talk about them in 30 seconds. But first, Red Sox spring training is here, and we know everyone's watching closely to see if this team is playoff bound this season. We know you have a ton of questions about the Sox future. We answer them all on Nesson's Baseball Podcast, 310 to Left. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Okay, Tay, I mean, we saw Melo light the Lakers up. We have not necessarily seen a big game yet from Luka. We talked to start the show about how LeBron had not one but two looks at the end of the game against the Hornets that didn't go his way. I mean, look, let's call it what it is. Right now, we know it's early. Luka in 3 games is 1-2. So is it time? Is it too early to panic for Lakers fans? We also made a joke about how bad this defense is. Ante, the Lakers defense is Swiss cheese, bro. I do not believe in this team at all.
Yeah, I don't believe in them at all. And their whole situation has me befuddled and confused because Shams is just dropping all types of bombs today. He came out with a statement from Jeff Schwartz and XL Sports Management saying that the overwhelming sentiment after conferring with multiple nationally recognized doctors is that the Los Angeles Lakers should not have failed Mark Williams on his physical. Travis, look, The Lakers clearly did not know what they wanted to do at the deadline. That has me worried about what I think Rob Pelinka can do going on in the future. He made a trade. He regretted the trade, so he rescinded the trade. That's what it sounds like because it sounds like Mark Williams is healthy enough to play NBA basketball, and he played against the Lakers and played decently. He got dunked on by LeBron. He did get dunked on by a 40-year-old, but he played well. He out-rebounded freaking Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes had 4 boards. He had 9. So, you know, he was out there playing and he won. He won. So I'm in the situation where I'm sitting there and I'm saying, everyone's like, oh, you're crazy to think the Dallas Mavericks won the trade in the short term. But then I watch the Dallas Mavericks play, even without AD, and they're fighting and clawing and beating teams that are good teams. But then when I watch the Lakers play, they've been struggling. Now, as we're recording this, they haven't played against the Portland Trailblazers yet. I'll be watching that game to see what happens. But at the end of the day, this Lakers team has been terrible defensively. Luka, the scoring's going to show up. We understand that. The scoring's going to show up. LeBron, he'll hit some shots in the clutch. That's a stat. It is what it is. I know a lot of people are talking about how he's only 1 for 29 since joining the Lakers in the final 5 seconds of a game tying or game winning situation, but it is what it is. The Lakers are going to be fine offensively. What I noticed is defensively in that game, the Hornets were getting whatever they wanted. It only took them until 4 quarters because they're a bad team to finally take advantage of it, but they were getting whatever they wanted the whole entire game. And in the last 5 minutes, who did they target? Luka. And that's all that really matters, and that's all I really see out of this. Luka.
I think every team's going to target him defensively, and that's a smart game plan. All right, let's give our league pass game to watch. I'm going tonight. I'm going to go Pistons at Spurs. Pistons are tough. Spurs are just fighting to survive now at this point, Ante, without Wemby. So I'm curious to see how they look with that. I like the Pistons. I mean, we've been on them all year, you more so than I, but this is a playoff team in the East. It is what it is. That's a fact right now. So I want to see the Pistons against the Spurs in the Spurs building. I want to see the Spurs, how they kind of weather the storm now. And I want to see the Pistons continue to prove that they belong.
Yeah, I'm cool with that game. I'm also interested in that game, and I get that. I'm going to check out Warriors at Kings. And the reason that I'm going to check out Warriors at Kings is because they're knotted in the standings as we're recording this. And at the 9 and 10 seed in the West, they have an opportunity to show us which team made the better trade deadline acquisitions, right? Was it Jimmy Butler going to the Warriors? Was it Zach LaVine going to the Kings and then adding Markelle Fultz, who we'll hopefully get the opportunity to see in this game? They needed a point guard bad after getting rid of De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell. I'm interested to see how both teams are going to fare after the deadline, which is why I'm watching this game.
No doubt. Second half of the season's back, baby. Clap it up, Tay. We back. Second half of the NBA season is here.
Let's go.
And we'll be with you every step of the way. From the second half of the season starting right now to the Celtics championship parade. We'll be with you there the whole time, baby. Travis Thomas, Ante Campbell, and you. Thank you for rolling with us inside Hold My Banner. Till next time, when we ask you to hold it again. Peace.
Deuces.